Hello friends, thanks for tuning in. This is John Lawrence Gaming. If you haven't been here before, please hit that like and subscribe button. And today, I'm going to do something a little different from just posting gameplay. I thought I would talk a little bit about the killer clowns from outer space and what needs to change, what works, and just kind of dive into some of those fundamental questions that so many people in the community have been bouncing around. With that said, I think there was an update actually just a few minutes ago. I haven't had a chance to see what all changed from that. But we're going to forge ahead anyway, so let's jump into it. My biggest issue with this game, which has kind of affected how much I want to play it recently, is the lack of preference. I really want to play clowns a lot more than humans. I just, frankly, so burn out on playing humans 90% of the time that I think that is the biggest change that needs to happen. If that's been addressed today, then that would be awesome. I'm not too optimistic that it did, though. That seems like a much bigger change that would come later on. I know other people, if you're feeling the same way about it, drop a comment. Agree, disagree. Happy to hear your opinion on it. Another issue is the bugs. There's still quite a few of them, and you cannot get enough raid at your local Walmart to wipe them all out. Perhaps the patches will take care of that, and I believe eventually they will. The game has that kind of sustainability. The spawns. Oh boy, the spawns are really something. Now, this game is probably not intended to be hyper competitive, as somebody mentioned, but I've heard the same thing about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that game is very sweaty and competitive. And it's fun. I think people generally are going to compete when you pit them against other players. That's just the way we are naturally going to consume our gaming, and that's what we like. It's just kind of the way it is. As far as the spawns go, you can absolutely just get screwed over as soon as the game starts out and just immediately have clowns like right up your ass. Or in this case, as a kind of the gameplay that I'm showing here, like I can get a really lucky spawn, find a key, walk unmolested right to the bridge, and just immediately get out. And that's just kind of the way it is, like it or not. One change that may have to come that I don't know that developers are going to be really keen about is allowing you to just basically leave after you're human when you die and get your XP. Now, you can stick around and you can do these repetitive minigames over and over and over, and you can help out teammates. From that aspect, it's kind of neat, but it can be very boring, especially if you die early in the match and there's no resurrection. Then there's not a whole lot of incentive other than just to get on your phone and scroll and look at YouTube or social media, whatever you're doing, and you'd rather be playing. So that's probably something long term they probably need to think about switching. I think some of the hit detections also feel kind of clunky. I know there's been plenty of times where I'm literally swinging right through a clown. Not even on really bad ping, but ping does play a big factor in many of these types of games, and this is one especially where you have high ping, you're going to have a much better chance of succeeding. Low ping rather than high ping. And I just don't know if necessarily the combat's as crisp as it should be. It kind of does feel a little bit janky at times. And that's something perhaps they could work out. I'm not real confident in that, but that does seem to be another issue. Some of the positive about this game, especially for me when I first jumped on, I really liked it, because obviously it was new. That's I'm supposed to only talk about positives here, but I feel like that part is kind of wore off a little quickly. But I've never been the kind of person that just wants to grind challenges. I just kind of like to play the game and get the challenges done naturally as I'm going through it. But especially when you first get on, it's quite a bit of fun. Playing like clowns with your friends is great. And I think that's probably the part that's missing for me is me and most of my friends would prefer to get on here and team up and play clowns, and that's just not an option. You can just keep searching and searching and searching, and maybe have no luck, or maybe get a couple every 2 or 3 games if you're very fortunate. But I mean, the game looks great. It's a cool concept. I actually went back and watched this movie before this game dropped. And it's a funny movie. It's not a scary movie, but the gameplay in this kind of reflects that. It's not very gory. Uh, it's not going to offend too many people with over the top violence. It's kind of cartoony, which is different, and that was a good idea. So hopefully they can continue to build on this game, make some polishes, fine tune some aspects, and try to get maybe a little more creative, and perhaps make some bigger changes than what they had intended. Because as many have pointed out, it sort of feels like a beta version of this game was just kind of given to us, and you know, kind of fake it till they make it, and fix a few things along the way, and hopefully the fan base will stick around because I do think that this does have like a good future long term. It's just whether or not it can last that long. I pay for the game, so currently no reason to hope anything other than that. Balance issues. Some have said, and I can understand why, that clowns are just killed way too easily. And of course, there's times when you're humans where you get absolutely wrecked. So, you could just say it's just the way it is, skill issue, bad luck, good luck. But it does seem a little bit like clowns are a little bit too soft. They don't really strike fear into you. You get two humans or even one human with a decent weapon, 1v1, it's going to be a bad day for the clowns. And maybe that's the way it's intended, whereas most of the ASIM genre is kind of geared towards the killers, just to create fear, because if you're not scared or you're not tense, then, what's really the point? But that has been one topic that I've seen bandied around. Is it too easy for humans? Is it too hard for humans? Is it too hard for clowns? What do you think? As I mentioned earlier, there is a patch that just came out, so some of these things that I've discussed may have been fixed. If so, that's great. If not, we will continue to talk in further videos about some of the things that we like. This is kind of a spur of the moment thing, so if you've watched, thanks for tuning in, and please hit the like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That helps me a lot, and hope to see you next time. Have a good one, guys.